make it look bigger than it really is. And believe it or not. Hey guys, how you doing? I hope you're all well. It is miserably hot here. Probably 100 here where I'm standing, I bet. Just pouring the sweat. But what are we looking at? Those of you that have been around the channel probably recognize this saw. I'd done I guess you could call a restoration on 2 of these a few years back. We're probably going on over 2 years, maybe 3 now. I've done one for Simple Man and I've done one for myself. His 365 actually had a 372 top end on it, a 50mm, which technically I guess made it a 372. We done quite a bit of work to that one, painted everything. I know some people say, well, the paint won't last. That's not rattle can. That's a automotive grade single stage acrylic enamel. Color was competition orange, I think, but this is almost a completely OEM saw minus like the bearings I put in it, and it has a highway piston in it. Other than that, she's primarily OEM. There may be another handful of parts, but primarily an OE saw. OE 4-wrap handlebar, big spikes. That probably is an aftermarket muffler. I do have an original muffler I could put on it and maybe add a deflector or something, but I think I'm just going to leave it alone. Who cares if it has an aftermarket muffler? We done a bunch of tests with this saw, and I'm not going to try to run my mouth much because it seems people don't care for that. They'll let you know in the comments. We done a bunch of tests with this. Started off, it had a 50mm aftermarket top end on it. I thought the saw was a little nice to have that, so I went back to a 365 top end. Lots of tests on this. We done like big transfers, but if you go back and watch the video, I'd shown like the stock size of a 371, 372 transfer port. And the ones in this still wasn't as big as, say, a 372 transfer, but we'd done like some tests. I had another 365 that primarily had a ton of machine work done to it, against this one that had no machine work, with like big transfers, like some things cut into the intake, longer blowdown, high exhaust roof. Saw ran okay, it ran alright, but the saw that had the machine work, same piece of wood, same bar and chain, same day, was about 8 seconds faster. And you know, it just is what it is. The videos are on the channel. If I can find it, I might put it on an end screen. But then we done another test where I didn't change anything at all I done was bought a pop-up piston and stuck in it. The crown height of that piston was shorter, which made squish longer, or wider, looser, which made the pop-up that was on it basically useless. Saw actually lost power, it lost time in the cut. So what I done, I went back into the cylinder, and all of this is on the channel documented, and done some machine work, brung the exhaust roof back down, got the compression back up, squish tightened up, and it was like a night and day difference with the saw. And all these tests, all of them were done in pretty rock hard hickory. So I don't know that I've ran this saw since then, and we're talking, I know, 2 years ago, 2 summers ago, 2 winters ago. I'm not sure, and I've got a little friend in here at my feet. What are you doing? You don't need to be in here. That one's the wife's. There ain't but about 15 cats running around here, but get out of here, Garfield. You're going to get stepped on. Anyway, let's see if it has some fuel in it, which I doubt it. I usually drain the fuel and run them dry. I'm going to let them sit. Get bone dry, so we've got to get some fuel. I'll bring you guys back. Some fresh kerosene here. We're not going to fill it all the way up because I may have intentions on maybe seeing what I can get out of this saw if I might have luck selling one that's a little nicer. Who knows, I have everything here to build another one. All the plastics are dyed black already. And we have new bar oil. So I'll have to pause you guys and run and grab that. Alright guys, will it run? It's been sitting for a long time. How many pulls will it take? Well, it's been sitting apparently around the saw that was leaking, or under one. Alright, choke. That ain't bad being sitting for like, probably, I don't know, a couple years. Guys, this one's sounding pretty nasty, really. Seemed like I made the cuts through that hickory with it after I went back and done the transfer port work, and I really don't think I ever ran it in a piece of wood again. You guys know I have that many saws, they just sit. I've got a cabinet full over there that some of them ain't been started in 2-3 years, you know. It is what it is. I'm kind of just sitting wondering why I'm just sitting on them and not just moving them out to where someone else could use the saw and enjoy it. But like I've said in other videos, I don't think I'm going to give them away either. But I'd priced this saw a while back for $600, and we will make some cuts with it. You guys let me know if you think that's too high for it, if it's about right, or if it's not enough. You know, it's ported machine. You can tell it sounds right. But I'll see if I can come up the bar and chain here, which is a laugh. There's bars and chains everywhere, and we'll go back here and make a cut or two with it, and then give my final thoughts about it. But like I said, it has been forever since I ran this thing. I really should work those angles like everybody else does and make that. It's probably 18 inches across and maybe a little over 20 diagonally up, but should come in with some funky angles. Yeah, it'll make it look bigger than it really is. And believe it or not, people doing that. I've done photography and video things forever, full with DSLR cameras, Photoshop, all the editing software. But I'm old now. Let's try to keep it simple. Anyway, this chain, we'd probably do a touch up. It's cut probably about every cookie laying there, so probably do a grind. Will it start back up? guys, that one was a runner. We'll check that restart one more time. All day long. It is trying to do a ring seat, but like I said earlier, it is not ran enough to even break in at all. So I've got a little project I'm doing tomorrow over at the property. I may just tote that one over there with me, and maybe one of those little low 24s. I don't know if I'll video any of that or not. It's not really saw related, but it is what it is. But she's a runner, guys. Like I said, they had a lot of people ask about that saw, and I don't know if they thought I priced it too high or what, but it's been, you know, what you could say, I guess, restored, but is it like a new saw? I don't know. It just is what it is. It's hot rodded. It runs good. As you can see, it pulls like a train, and that is a 65cc saw. You get them right and they'll run. I've built several of them here. If you don't go in and butcher up a bunch of things and over raise the exhaust roof, they get it done, and you know, they'll run right with the bigger saw. The junk pile one we done crusty, I had a mildly modified 066 here. It's been a year or so back. That saw, the 365, was 22% faster than that 066, and the 066 was no slouch. It ran awesome. The owner of it was very, very happy with it, but I'm just trying to say that, you know, don't throw your 48mm top in the way. If it's, you know, a special, it's closed port, you know, looks like a 372 cylinder. Modify that. If you got a way you can do some machine work or have a buddy do it, you know, get the squish tightened up on it. If you don't, it'll do just fine with a base gasket delete and minor port work. But anyway, guys, I thought I'd pull this thing out and give you guys a look that hadn't seen it. Got a lot of new followers. As always, y'all have a good one.